Hey, mathematicians. Sorry, I'm going to be looking at my other screen on this one because it's on my other screen. But um, I promise I'm not ignoring you. I'm just looking at the screen that you're seeing here. So I put my numbers here. So this is the multiplying whole numbers by fractions. We're starting our work in multiplying fractions. And we're going to start with multiplying fractions by a whole number. And it's going to be a lot easier than you think. So really all you have to do today is walk through this problem string and answer the questions when you come back down at the bottom. And that's all you have to do today. But I really want you to think about what you are doing and why the answers are the way they are. Okay. I don't want you to rush through this one because this is super important in getting our work done in multiplying fractions for the rest of the year. It's a big fifth grade standard. Okay. So this first page, I'm not going to do all of this with you, but I'm going to do the first couple pages so you can see how it's done. So the first page, you put your name. And then there is a link here that you will click into, and it's going to take you to the problems that we're going to do and what it means to multiply fractions by a whole number or a whole number by a fraction. It's the same thing. They're associative, so you can flip them around. So you're going to start here. You're going to either push the right arrow key or you can click the screen. So it says multiplying whole numbers by fractions. What's half of 24? You probably know what half of 24 is, don't you? Which is the same as saying what's half times 24. Can you believe that? When you replace the word times, when you're dealing with fractions and you replace it with the word of, it becomes so much easier. I want you to remember that. Think of the word of. Whenever you see that word of, that's telling you to multiply when we're dealing with fractions. So whenever it says half times 24, if you think to yourself, oh, that's right. We could also say half of 24. So half times 24 is, where do you see half of 24 in this array? So we could there's a ton of different spaces that we could put half of 24, couldn't we? So whenever any of these slides, if you ever want to watch them again, you just click watch again and it'll pull it up again into a different tab and you just go through it again. So now we're going to go back to our page. I'm going to click out of these. And at the bottom, this is where you put your answers. It says, describe where you see half of 24 in the array. So I see half of 24 in the, let's say, top half, bottom half, left half, right half, whatever you want to say. Okay. Next. So this is teaching us what it means, right? Use the link below to access part 2 of the problem string. Now it's going to say describe where you see a third of 24 in the array and what is a third of 24. Okay, so let's look here. Let's click this. So half of 24, they're going to show us here. They took the half, they took the top half, and they took the bottom half, and they circled it red. And they said it's basically like an array. It's saying what is 2 times 6, right? 2 on here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 up top. 2 times 6 is 12. Half of 24 is 12. So now, you could also split it left and right like we talked about, which is a 3 or a 4 by 3 array. 1, 2, 3, 4 on the side, and then by 3 at the top. 4 by 3, which is also 12. So now we're talking about a third of 24, right? So we have 24. If we split it into 3 equal parts, if we split them into thirds, how much would each third be, right? 1/3 of 24 is the same thing as saying 1/3 times 24. Where do you see a third of 24 in this array? So which part? I see it right here. I'm going to say I see a third of 24 on the left-hand side. So when I go back, describe where you see a third of 24. I see 1/3 of 24 on the how can we say that? The left third, let's say. I don't know. That's a tricky question. Then we ask, okay, what is a third of 24? So if I go back, and I see that I can split this line here. That's a third. This line over here is a third. So if I just count this section right here, this is the one I want. I'm going to count. So it's basically like saying what's 24 divided by 3, right? If we have 3 equal parts. 24 divided by 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 24 divided by 3, or 1/3 of 24, is 8. Okay. Next. Part 3, use the link below. How can you build on your thinking about 1/3 of 24 to find 2/3 of 24? So let's see what they say. So they're going to review a third real quick. So there's a third of 24. Oh, there we go. They did it for me. They broke each section into thirds, and this is what I counted: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That was 1/3. If I wanted to add another third, like this third and then this middle third, that would be 2/3. There's 1/3, which is a 4x2 array, which is 8. We got it. So now we're talking about 2/3. Okay, 2/3 times 24. How can you build on your thinking about 1/3 of 24 to find 2/3 of 24? And what is 2/3 of 24? So this is 1/3. This is 2/3. If I combine them together, it's 8 plus 8, right? So how can you build on your thinking about 1/3 of 24 to find 2/3? I can add 8 plus 8 because I am adding one more third to my answer. Something like that. I don't know. Right? You're just adding a third plus a third, which is 8 plus 8. And then what is 2/3 plus 24? 20. So here's a trick. 24 divided by 3, 24 divided by the denominator is 8. And then you multiply the numerator. 24 divided by 3 is 8. 8 times 2, 16. All right. So 1/3 is 8. Add another third, that's 16. All right, so this is part 4. This is where I want you to take over. So part 4, try it. We're going to work on this today on Friday. So if you have questions, let me know. We can work with you. But just go through, take your time, like I said. Okay, really, really, really take your time. All righty. Good luck. You can do this. Remember, multiplying by fractions. If you say of, half of 24 is easier to think in my mind anyway than half times 24. Okay. Great job.